I'm going to go over 8 tips that I've learned along the years that have helped me so much organizing my garage and tools and toolboxes. Number 1, label your boxes. Put the like tools in with the like tools and label it. Screwdrivers, files, punches, blades, cutters. I just use painter's tape. 3M Automotive Painter's Tape has been what works for me. It's stayed on there for years. If you buy new tools or if you decide you change the layout, you just rip them off and make some new ones. I have 47 toolbox drawers in total, counting these Craftsman, the off-camera Snap-on, and then my tool cart as well. If I didn't label these, I'd never remember where all these specialty tools are. Like if somebody's looking for a tool and you're not in the garage, say maybe your wife, your girlfriend, or a coworker, and they're like, hey, where's that tool? What are you gonna say if they're not labeled? Torx. Anybody can walk in here and do that. If I told them, hey, get in the SAE drawer, they walk right in there, there's your SAEs. And then going along with the labeling, it makes it so much easier once they're labeled, is to put the tools back when you're done. I know exactly where my hammers go. They go in my hammer drawer when I'm done. Really easy to clean up once you know where everything goes. Tip number 3, find yourself some filing cabinets. This sucker is huge. I've got the Supra label on it. It is a massive 5-drawer from Steelcase. Got it for dirt cheap on Marketplace. And this holds big tools like things that come in blow molds or boxes, and I'm not using a whole lot. I'm more of a mechanic than a woodworker, so this kind of lives in its box after I'm done with it. Brad nailers. This is a socket set that is just too heavy and bulky for most other spots. These are my extra hand wrenches, box wrenches. This is a ball joint press tool. This is a grinder. This is O2 sensors. This is a spare drill. And this drawer is totally loaded. It's heavy as all snot. Car parts and all the other drawers. That's not my only file cabinet that I just showed you. I've got other ones. These are great, these long lateral style file cabinets. You can get them so cheap. These are like 20 bucks on Marketplace or Salvation Army. This is where I put all my weird tubes for vacuums, all my vacuum accessories, the extension that I need to run the vacuum, and I've got a couple other weird long things in here like the tool mat or the tool drawer liner. Down here, this is where my saws live. Okay, so these can be all out of the way, not dangerous in there. That's a carton of exactly what you think it is. A battery tender in there. And when my other battery tenders aren't in use, they live in here as well. They used to live in that box, but then I got this saw. So we'll have to figure something out. Maybe those move somewhere else. And check it out. Got another one that's full of car parts. One more filing cabinet. And this one holds a whole lot of random stuff that I still need to review, or other big items that you can't really fit in a toolbox. Here's the 3 tools that I think jam up most toolboxes if they're not organized. You need plier organization, you need socket organization, you need wrench organization. Pliers, I've got Tectons. They have done me great. You can store most of them one way if they don't want to store that way properly. Turn them around, see if the head will fit in there better. Turn around, see if the head will fit in there better. And they've tripled, no joke, tripled the amount of pliers that I can fit in this drawer. And I absolutely love how easy it is to identify them. I'm thinking about getting a couple more to fit right here. The next thing you can do is wrench organizers. These are Tecton's modular wrench organizers. Like each one of these can be 1 piece. I can take it out, or 3-piece, or 4-piece, whatever they end up being. And you can take them out and organize them however you want. So far, this is how I've got this drawer organized. And I can fit so many in there and find them, identify them right away. And these are long wrenches. This is like a 16-inch wrench right here. This is a 16-inch wrench right there. And I think these are even, I know this is longer than that. So this fits great in there. They hold tight, and it's really customizable to any drawer that you're doing it with. I've even got some more down here on my spares. Trying to figure out how to organize those a little better because I do use them quite a bit. And I hate fumbling through a whole bucket full of wrenches to try to get exactly what I'm after. So these Tecton wrench organizers have really freed up some time and honestly some space in my toolbox. You can fit more in there like that than you can if they're all just random willy-nilly. I feel like you can. I'm not going to do 2 inches deep of random willy-nilly style. Here's another style wrench organizer I have. This is Tool Widget. I do like these as well. They take up maybe slightly more room in the box compared to the Tecton ones, but I've used these for years. Another wrench style organizer are these right here, which are from Ernst. They're just a laid back style wrench organizer that can be hung on the wall as well. I believe you can do these vertically. Yes, they can be hung up on a wall as well, which might be helpful depending on what kind of space you're working in. Next, let's talk socket storage. I tend to leave them in the tray that I got them in. And you can see over here, I've also got my Milwaukee's in their storage tray. If you don't have storage trays for them, here's another option. Up here is a magnetic storage tray. And I actually use this one right here for my razors, or for my utility knives. This is a magnetic storage tray. I've got the sockets in this one up here. There are tons of different types of socket organization. Another way I store sockets, this is my extra socket storage bin. I've got, you can see more of those magnetic rails there. And this is just a little extra bin here that came off a tackle box, honestly. Those are my 10 mils. All of my extra 10 millimeter sockets that aren't part of a set. I have not lost one since I've done this. I feel like once you organize your tools, you aren't gonna lose a 10 mil anymore. I don't know. It seems to have worked for me. One more level of socket storage I have is these red bins. This is just an extra set of SAE and metric that I got on a super deal, and I just put it in one of these red bins. You just saw the red bin on the Cobalt sockets. This is full of all those, all my extra impacts, all my extra chromes that I've collected through the years, through toolboxes or random sets that I had to buy for roadside work. They just all live in there, and that thing's heavy as all snot, so I'm not going to get it out. Seventh tip would be get some type of magnets for storing things that you use all the time. This actually frees up an entire drawer. So this is magnetic itself. I just leave it right up there. This whole plate is magnetic, this Craftsman plate, and I got another one here. These are Cobalt ones I showed you. These are magnetic. There's probably another brand out there making them. This is a magnetic rail that lives right atop my recording station. You can see this is usually the view you have on my videos. This is my magnetic rail that I tend to put whatever I'm using at that moment right there so that I can work on it right here. This thing here is magnetic, holds my scissors, my multimeter, air freshener, some tape. This is a totally random mishmash of stuff. This is magnetic right here. This holds my propane tank right next to my workbench. That's a great thing to have. Sometimes I swap it out for my coffee. These little things are magnetic trays. They have magnets in the bottom there, and they also collapse, which is pretty cool. So you can do that with it. And I'll show you that it's magnetic. It'll stick vertically like that. You can put stuff in it. There's another style magnetic tray I'll show you. A lot of people are familiar with this style magnetic tray, and I've got a couple of these around. They're nice to slide under a car when you're working, so all your tools aren't walking around. I've got the bigger one like this, a smaller one like that. Look at that. There's another magnetic thing holding the MAP gas right there. Couple more magnetic things. These are the bottoms of a magnetic tray that actually came off of a Harbor Freight one years ago. And what I did is I just stuck them on the toolbox so that I can use magnets like that up there. And this is a little magnetic retractor, retractable test lead as well. Oh, one more magnetic thing, this little key hook. That one right there, I tend to put my keys, whatever I'm working on that day, go right here. And you know what? After you do that, everything is figure outable. All right, I kind of touched on it. Random food-related items that you can use to organize. This is a silverware tray. You can get them super cheap at like those dollar stores or budget stores, or you can find them online. This is the specific one I'm using right here. I bought quite a few of these to see where they'd fit in my drawers. And you can see there's another takeout container, another food-related item that I use for storing random tools. The extensions here, I've got in a food storage tray. I think I got sushi in this one day, and I cleaned out the bottom, and now that lives in my 1/4 inch drawer as my 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch adapters. You can see the sushi container made it back again. There's another one in here. I got a series of these random trays. These might have been from Harbor Freight. It's real helpful to have these around for the small stuff when you don't really want a junk drawer, but you kind of need a junk drawer. These are real cool to have around because everything's not just blasting around. You can kind of organize it, you know, keys, brushes, knives, stuff like that together. Another one of those red bin drawers. I want to come back to these. Look, all the red bins that I got out of those Milwaukee ones. Some of them hold sockets I showed you earlier. I took the red bins out of some of them, and this is what they do now. They work great for storing random things like Q-tips, tapes, gasket makers, glues, clothespins. I use those more than I thought I would in here. Random brushes and stuff like that. Gotta love these little red bins. Bins, boxes, or other things. It is nice to do like tools with like tools. These are tools that I'm restoring. I don't have them fully organized. I don't really need them to be, so they are just in a like basic everything goes in one spot storage. another food container, and you can see, you know, there's more that I'm restoring, a whole bin in there that I got to restore too. So they just kind of live in there like that, and that works for me with these. That might be the level you want to work with as a working project. That's fine, but I'll tell you, you can save a lot of time if you go up a notch to something like that. It's a lot easier on you.
When you don't really want a junk drawer, but you kind of need a junk drawer.